Hello, my impatience. It is I, Andrew the Android Koloski here. How art thou? How are you doing? Um, how are things going with you? I hope you will join and engage with me. I hope you will come filing in. It's time for Rusty's favorite part of the day. It's time for me to give Rusty some pleasure. I don't know if he's at my beck and call this quickly. I literally just joined, but the wash is coming to an end. So I'm going to put the wash in the dryer, and hopefully he's around to witness me pleasing him. Like they say, if a tree falls in the woods, I don't know. Trees do a lot of things. Okay. So here we go. We're gonna do the wash right off the bat today, which is pretty rare. That doesn't typically happen. Here we go! Putting the wash in the dryer. Putting the wash. Okay. All right. Putting the wash in the dryer. Putting the wash. It's not like an air fryer. When you put the wash in the dryer. All right. Coming to the live stream at this time, standing 6'6" tall, weighing 273 pounds. And no, not Andrew the Android Koloski. Sal Waters! Wee wah, wee wah, wee wah, wee wah. You are going down. Ah! All right. I don't think Rusty is going to rank that one. I quickly made an error and I corrected myself. So some people say, take steps to get more independent. Cole. All right. So it's about noon on a Thursday in August. Noon on a Thursday in August. All right. So I worked out at the gym today. I did an hour. I did 20 minutes of running. The pants that kind of were loose on me last year are getting a little tight on me for whatever reason, which means I probably gained some weight. I blame it on all the sugar my mother gives me with dinner. She gives me a lot of cookies and chips, which I probably should abstain from, but I'm a hungry guy who eats a lot. I exercise a lot too. I'm not exactly fat, but I definitely put on. I don't know how many pounds I put on. I don't really weigh myself. Maybe I should. Somebody says, "Yeah, don't blame your mother. Do you not ask her for those things?" Yeah, that's a fair point, critics. That's a fair point. I know. I used to have a science professor many years ago who would complain about his wife, buying him Oreo cookies, and he was like, "Is she trying to get me fat?" I guess some people, are like, are they trying to sabotage me by giving me so many sweets? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if some people have sadistic intentions with giving people sweets and want to see them get fat. I know when I was younger and I had an eating disorder, I used to eat dinner, and I wanted to make sure I ate less than my brother. So if my brother had 3 hot dogs, let's say, I would make sure I only ate 2 hot dogs. I don't know if it was OCD or what the story was, But, I'd be like, oh, Steven, how many hot dogs did you have? He'd say 3. And I'd say, okay, I can only eat 2 then. This is a true story, because I wanted to make sure I ate less. So there's definitely control and wanting to outdo people. And some people might even want to sabotage people by feeding them cookies and sweets. So there really is some sort of, you know, I don't know if it was really hot dogs. I'm just using a metaphor. It might not have been hot dogs that we were eating. It might have been like pork chops. I asked, how much pork chops did you eat? Maybe he said I had 1 or 2. I said, okay, then I'll only have half a pork chop. I don't know if it was really hot dogs, but that was just a metaphor. Yeah, 3 hot dogs is a lot. 3 hot dogs is a lot. That's sure. That's for sure. Anybody ever see that hot dog eating competition in Coney Island on the 4th of July that Joey Chestnut wins every year? He eats like 80-something hot dogs, supposedly. He eats like 80-something hot dogs. 666 says, you've seen one, you've seen them all. That's for sure. That's for sure, 666. That's for sure. All right. So what are your plans for the day? I got the art class today at 4. They say you're complaining about your life not getting better. Now, don't talk the talk. Don't say what you need to do. Take action and do it. What can I do today to change my life? What can I do today to make my life better? Well, one thing I could do is call the SOAR program, apologize to the lady for no showing, and say to her, look, I'm going to show up, and this is a good step towards independence. This is a good step towards progressing my life. This is a good step towards getting a career and, success. That's something I can do. That's action I can take to progress my life. I could say, oh, where is my knight in shining armor or fairy godmother who's coming to rescue me? But nobody's coming to rescue me. Get off social media, give the SOAR program a call, and don't make excuses. If I set up a date where I'm supposed to go in, don't no-show. Show up and actually go through with it, Don't talk the talk, walk the walk, and take action to getting independent. Somebody says, don't talk the talk. Action. Talk is cheap. Action is what you need to do. Horn Dog asks, did I eat breakfast? I had 2 bananas for breakfast. That's all I've eaten so far today, really. Don't talk the talk, walk the walk. He asks, will you be going for a walk soon? Well, I'm doing the laundry at the moment, so maybe in an hour or so. They do NAMI bowling once a month, and it happened this month already, so it's probably going to happen in September again. I'm in a lot of emotional pain. I think it's pretty evident I'm depressed, and not just depressed, but I mean, really think about it. When I say I'm depressed, really think about it. It could be worse. I could be homeless. I could be in the hospital. I could be in a death camp in a third world country. I could be imprisoned in the USA. Yeah, I'm really frustrated, and yeah, my life feels like a living nightmare. But it could always be worse. It could always be worse. I think why bring it up? They ask because I'm struggling. I'm suffering. I'm in a lot of emotional pain. Um, I'm in pain, and it's cathartic to express myself. But yeah. However, it could always be worse. It's emotional pain. Somebody asks, where is the pain? It's mental pain. It's depression. It's frustration. You know. 666 says there's a lot of depressed and frustrated people in the world. Just go into public and walk around and look around. That's for sure. Maybe a lot of people are in pain. They just don't cry about it as much as I do. Somebody says you're acting like a victim. Your mom made you this way. Okay, nah, I mean you're going bye bye. I mean it is true. Yeah, I have to grow up. I have to take the initiative and get independent and make my life happen and stop crying about it. Stop crying about it and take action. You know, stop crying and take action. I can change the outcome. The time to change my life is now. Ooh. And the way to do that would be calling the SOAR program. That's at least a good first step. That's a good first step. Calling the SOAR program, saying, "Hey, look, I apologize." Don't even apologize; they're professionals. But say, "Look, I'm sorry for no showing." You know, let's say hypothetically speaking, my social worker or anybody who had a job no showed because they felt like going to the gym. You wouldn't keep your job very long. You would get fired. I mean, maybe one day you could do that, but if you made a regular routine of no showing your job and you not even call up because you wanted to go to the gym, you would get fired. That's just not acceptable. So, go to the SOAR program and tell myself, hey, this is like a job. I have to go. And you can't no show because you just want to go to the gym and post on social media. Somebody says going to the SOAR program would be good for you. I think one of the problems with that was I thought I was too high functioning for it. I thought a lot of the people in the SOAR program were going to be low functioning. I know they say your executive functioning isn't too high at the moment, and but and your executive functioning is determined by the level of functioning you're doing at the moment. And right now, I'm not functioning too highly, so it's the perfect place for me. I think I have the intellectual ability and capacity and motivation and determination to be greater. They say, okay, then take the steps. And if they discover you're motivated and determined, maybe they'll promote you and put you in the pros program. And from there, who knows? Maybe I'll be pop superstar or movie star. I mean, I'm going to be 40 soon, but I'm certainly not going to find it by posting on social media. Social media is my ticket to pouring my life down the drain. Social media is certainly my ticket to pouring my life down the drain. All right. In fact, I should probably just get off this live stream and just give the SOAR program a call, and that's what I should do. Horn Dog wants to hear. I mean, I mean, if I got fast food last night? No, I didn't get fast food last night. I said, obviously, part of the reason I don't want to go to the SOAR program is because I'm convinced my art is a gold mine. And I really want to be a famous movie star. I really want to be a celebrity. I really want, the riches and fame. And they say, you don't have to give up on your dreams of superstardom. I mean, you can still pursue your art and your comedy and your videos and your mental health posts on the side. But be realistic. When your mother and father pass away, there's nobody to support you, and, you're going to wind up in assisted living, a group home, the psychiatric hospital, homeless. So, the best thing to do is work towards getting independent and maybe finding realistic work, stocking shelves for minimum wage, or a restaurant waiter or a barista. Or if that bores me, try to be a peer specialist at a mental health recovery group. Take the tests and work hard. I'm getting delusions of grandeur that I should be a billionaire and a movie star, and that's just not realistic. I mean, could it happen? I guess people get those jobs, but you got to be realistic too. Somebody says, do you feel you are too good to work stocking shelves? That's part of the reason I didn't stay working as a seafood clerk. I was in my late 20s at the time. And I thought, I should be, I was getting delusions of grandeur. I should be, successful, a talk show host or whatever. And I didn't want to stay because I thought I was too good for the job. Yes. So, I think that interferes. I think that definitely interferes my delusions of grandeur, thinking I should be, somebody says you are too good to be a seafood clerk or a stock clerk. I think so, but I don't really have much work experience, at 38 years old. I definitely don't have a lot of work experience, so. And it's kind of frustrating and bores me, so. Like I have 20-year gaps in my work history. Somebody says you have to start somewhere though, and you got to start at the bottom. And some people say any job is a step above what you're doing. Right now, what you're doing, creating OnlyFans content and, acting buffoonish, or maybe not buffoonish, but throwing tantrums on social media. This is the lowest of low. This is not below. This is not above, working part-time stocking shelves. Working part-time stocking shelves is above this. This is the lowest of low. This is rock bottom, It might feel like, I'm working for myself and I'm going to be a superstar and a movie star, but this is the lowest of low. Stocking shelves for minimum wage is a step above this. Horn Dog says, you deserve better, and getting out there will give you a chance at love. Gigi says, just show your employer your artwork and videos. Tell them this is what you've been doing and watch their jaws drop. They'll say, we're going to make the movie about your life. Somebody says, this is not the lowest of low. Living under a bridge, homeless is the lowest low. My point is, employment is better than what I'm doing. I feel like, I'm too good to work stocking shelves, but this is respectable. This is commendable, what I'm doing right now. But that's not so. Collecting disability and ranting on social media. What this is this is lower than working for minimum wage. It might not feel that way, but it's true, you know. So he says there's a lot of people out there who hate their jobs. Yeah, hopefully I can find a job I enjoy and don't hate. So he says, get a job, get a job, serving food or a fast food job, or get a job at a, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you're right, or get a job at a supermarket or a barista. And don't say I'm too good. I'm working with 18-year-olds. I should be a late night talk show host or a billionaire or a movie star. Instead, say, this is better than what I've been doing for the past 15 years. What I was doing, I was in a solitary daydream world going crazy, you know. So we got Deborah back, and he or she says, you should have never blocked me. Actually, on the contrary, I don't think I ever did block you. You just stopped appearing on my channel. But I'm going to block you now because it seems like you're threatening me. So he says, you definitely, I mean, to be honest with you, it was never personal. I mean, I never had any animosity or anything personal. I mean, it's just, I mean, I just don't care. I mean, I mean, no offense to Deborah, no offense to Mirror. I just don't care. I got bigger fish to fry than worrying about you. You know what I mean? I mean, if I blocked you, it wasn't personal. I got bigger problems than worrying about, Deborah. Like homeless when my parents pass away. So I mean, good. I'll refer to you as I'll refer to you by the pronouns you choose. I got nothing personal against you. I got bigger problems than worrying about some sort of internet feud. I was never really even that annoyed at you. So if I was ever annoyed at you at all, I don't think I was. I just don't think I cared. It was more Mirror or Erie's drama. So I just don't care. I got what I got to do is I got to work towards getting myself independent. I got to work towards making my life happen. I got to work towards attending, groups and SOAR programs and call these places and take the action, take the initiative. You know, that's what I need to do. I mean, it's not over. I don't have a terminal life-threatening cancer diagnosis yet. You know, I mean, there's still hope. I'm still able-bodied. I can still stock shelves. If I wanted to. You know, I could still. Somebody says, just start somewhere. Start anywhere. Do anything. Get out there. Somebody says you can do it. You know. Stop saying you should be a billionaire. Or a millionaire, or it's just get out there, live your life. It's time for a big change. It's time to come back with determination and make your parents proud. Look at all they sacrificed for you, you know? Somebody says, you got to make $10 before you make a million. Are you using, Gigi says you can't do it. You cannot do it. It's impossible, not for more than 4 days. Are you using reverse psychology on me, or do you genuinely believe I'm incapable? A horn dog asks, am I a hard worker? I think I am if I'm motivated and care about the job. I mean, my social worker definitely noticed a strong determination to change my life and succeed in me. He definitely saw drive and fire and intensity in my eyes. Maybe I'm applying my drive, intensity, and fire into the wrong places, which would be social media content. But if I applied that into a realistic career, maybe I would be the manager of the supermarket, and that's fine. You don't have to be a celebrity that goes on all the radio shock jock shows. You don't have to be like one of these rock stars or movie stars. Sometimes the manager of the supermarket is the happiest. Sometimes the supermarket manager is the happiest. Somebody says, would you like to deal with customers or be in the back? I'm capable of dealing with customers, but I would rather be in the back, do something like stock. But you got to deal with customers in stock too. They'll ask you, where is the soup? Where is the soup? And I'll say, the soup is in aisle 10. But yeah, dealing with the public is annoying. There's often like nasty people who are like, where is the soup? Where is the soup? Somebody says, they're always asking for the soup, for real, for real. Horn Dog asks, am I done with stand-up comedy? That's a good question. My mother says, and this is her take, she's looking at comedians who are on comedy networks, and she's like, you got stage presence, you got aura, you're funnier than them. Some of your material is better. It's just that you feel introverted, and you're depressed. You don't want to do it. But really, you got the potential. But anything I'm like, do I want to work hard at comedy? I don't know. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, they say. I don't know who made that quote, but somebody made that quote. And you got to work hard and develop your jokes and go out there and grind. When I was new to comedy, it was fresh. My friends would come and my family would come to the shows, and I did good. My performances went well. I think some people even laughed. But over time, when I started doing it every week, I got sick of it, and I was very introverted. I didn't like the loud and rambunctious people, and I didn't really like stand-up comedy. I mean, it was fun. It was good performing, but I got sick of it. Somebody asked, were you really funny when you first started? Some people said I was. Horn Dog says, you have the talent, but you don't have the drive. Yeah, I'm not really motivated to be a comedian. Some people say I have the stage presence. Some people say I have the look. Some people say I have the aura. But I'm just not motivated. I'm just not motivated at the moment, at least, to pursue comedy. I don't know. I mean, I'm introverted. Everybody's, I think a lot of it, a lot of what deflated me, I think a lot of my jokes and my songs were avant garde, and I was performing with confidence. But then I started getting a lot of criticisms, and obviously criticisms are valid. If people don't like what you're doing, they're going to give you feedback. Um, and I started getting some people who criticized my a cappella nerd rap songs and my performances, and they would cringe. And that made me lose confidence. I mean, when you perform in your bedroom, nobody's going to heckle or boo you or criticize your performances. I think a lot of what I'm able to read the room and see how people react to things. And I know they say don't take it personally, don't take it to heart if somebody critiques you. But some people were cringing at some of my songs, and it made me lose a lot of confidence in what I was doing. Somebody says, I mean, people are going to criticize you. I mean, and obviously you gotta do what feels natural. And right now, what feels natural is the art class, doing my little comic strips. I know my mom says get back into comedy, keep doing it, but I don't know. Keep doing it on Friday nights, but maybe I should. Maybe I should get back out there. Six 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 says you constantly worry about what people think about you. I don't think you're capable of reading the room the way you think you can. Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, believe it or not, I actually have good mentalizing and reading the room and reading the energy. I actually have good intuition. Contrary to what people think. I can definitely read the room, read energy, read people's intentions, read people's feedback, and read if people are cringing or genuinely find you funny. And lately, I've been so depressed. It's like I realize a lot of comedians do self-loathing and depression jokes, and you know, um, but yeah, I just don't feel very funny lately. I just don't feel comedy is really. It's yeah. Um, yeah, I remember I saw comedy in New York City many years ago, and one of the guys was telling all these traumatic childhood jokes, and he was delivering it in a funny, charming kind of way that was supposed to make you laugh. But if you really analyze what the guy was saying and doing, it was a tragic story that was very sad, And I think that's kind of what happened with me. You know, I mean, you can make jokes and jokes are funny, and but at a certain point, it's like when is a joke just not funny, and when is it a tragedy? When is something not funny, and when is it a tragedy? That's something to keep in mind. I mean, it's fun to laugh, it's fun to chuckle and be silly, and I mean, everybody likes smiling and laughing and getting a good chuckle. I mean, that's I mean, that a lot of people like going to movies to see comedies because it makes you feel good. I mean, really bad things don't happen in comedies. I mean, I guess they could, but I mean, comedies are meant to make you feel good and smile and chuckle. If somebody like gets brutally dies from cancer, that's not real. I mean, that's why it's hard to make a really good cancer joke because comedy, I mean, at the end of the day, it's meant to be lighthearted and make you laugh, and make you smile. taking a dark subject like cancer, it's kind of hard to laugh at that. I mean, I realize it's gallows humor, and some people like dark humor. You know. Rusty says, I don't like to smile and laugh. I just like complete deadpan, complete serious expression. All right. All right. All right, guys. I mean, I guess I'm gonna hit the dusty trail here. I appreciate you for having watched. I mean, I guess cancer jokes can be comical, but the person needs to have cancer themselves. You can't be making fun of somebody dying of cancer. And, they got to make self-deprecating jokes like, oh, the cancer, it's got me, but, it made me stronger. Like you got to, it has to be lighthearted. Cancer's kind of shitty. You wouldn't wish that on your worst enemy, really. I mean, unless your worst enemy was like Hitler, in which case maybe that would be justified. Miru wants more crying videos from me. All right. So, I mean, so this is why are you letting all these people talk bad about you? I mean, really, aside from these critical comments, I mean, there's nobody else in the house. I mean, they're just trying to get a reaction. Yeah, I'm going to ban these people. Really, that's a good point. Frankly, they're just trying to get me to react. So I'm gonna ban them. The only ones I didn't ban were 666 Rusty and Giant Big Glider. I got rid of a few people. Yeah, 666. I don't think. I mean, I don't know if they said anything. I don't think 666 is associated with the nefarious crew, but maybe I'm wrong. I'll keep monitoring 666, but they didn't do anything that bad yet. Somebody asks, have I tried learning an instrument? That's a good question. I mean, my mother gave me a guitar, but I never really learned to play. At this point, work towards getting a career and a job. Oh, we got Kit in the house, and these are the same people just appearing under new names. We got Jungle Lady in the house, and we got a lot of people appearing in the house who are clearly the same trolls under new names. But am I going to just? I'll give them a second chance, and when they say something to troll me, I'll ban them. Yeah, it looks like my channel is getting infested with trolls, which is too bad. It's getting infested with trolls. I don't know who's got good intention. I mean, there's a few people I know who have good intentions, but I don't know who's genuinely good intentioned and who has nefarious secret intentions. It's hard to really tell. It's hard to really tell sometimes. Somebody says, kid says, you seem depressed. Have you taken medication for it? Nah, I'm actually very depressed lately. I'm very depressed. And, I can change that. You got to fake it until you make it. You got to take action. You got to call these SOAR programs and, work towards getting independent and work towards making your life happen. And when you get independent and you start making money, a girl will probably be interested in you. And you got to take the action. You got to fake the happiness, fake the life, and just keep moving forward. And it's frustrating. Sometimes you'll be chatting with women on dating apps, and they'll take you over to Telegram, and then they'll ask for cryptocurrency, and I'm like, all right, I thought I had a woman who was genuinely romantically interested in me. I was optimistic. This could be and then it turns out to be a scam artist who's, only interested in, duping me basically because I'm lonely and I seem like I'm a naive simpleton, who will start sending iTunes gift cards and give them my bank information. So that's kind of frustrating too. I mean, sometimes you want these people to be real. I mean, I've never given anybody my bank information. I mean, I've bought memberships to websites that, but I don't know. I mean, like, if somebody says, you have Telegram, Andrew? A lot of nefarious people use that app. Yeah, I mean, I have Telegram, I have Signal, I have all the encrypted messaging apps. Yeah. I have all the encrypted messaging apps, yeah. Somebody says, yeah, get off those apps, get off the encrypted messaging apps and make your life happen. Stop worrying about the drama, stop worrying about who I block, who I don't block, and just work towards getting independent in real life. All right, I'm gonna block Mayor of India again. He's just get lost. I mean, at this point, I feel like I'm just like this broke, pathetic loser who's been staring into the void, who's spent like 20 years in a solitary daydream land. And I say, don't be a victim. Change your life, make your life happen. But ultimately, I don't need the fucking drama. Like, oh, why did you block me? It's because you're harassing me. That's why. If you didn't, I mean, maybe I'll unblock you. I do the unblock every month or so. Maybe I'll unblock you in a month or a week, or I mean, it's nothing personal. If I block you, it's because you did something to deserve it. It's not anything personal. Kid says, if you focus on minimum wage slavery, then how could you be using the internet to make greatness? I don't know. Somebody asks, "What's the farthest away from your home that you've ever been?" That's a good question. In my childhood, I went on some vacations with my father to Chicago, and I think that's maybe Orlando, Florida, with my mother. I haven't been on a vacation I haven't been out of New York State in 10 years. I haven't been on a vacation or on a plane since 2006. And the vacation I went on in 2013 or 2014 was Atlantic City with my mother, father, and stepfather. It wasn't like a vacation with friends. So I desperately need to go somewhere, do something, but I don't have the money for it, I mean, I realize there's going to be no like radio shock jock who's going to say, "Oh my God, let's fund a dream vacation for Andrew to some Caribbean island." You know, nobody's going to really do that, but yeah, I mean, I just sit in my bedroom, wasting my life, pouring my life down the drain. You know, that's basically what I do, and you know, that's my fault. That's my fault. You know, it's my fault. You know, it's nobody's keeping me in here as a prisoner. Some people are saying they want to get revenge on me. I have no idea what the hell they're talking about because I blocked them. You know, just I don't know why people care enough about me. You know, I mean, like I'm like this broke, pathetic loser who's just posting on social media all day, every day. Leave me alone. You know, I don't know what he wants revenge for. Some people think I did things to them personally when I didn't. You know. You know, it's like, and even people who have done me wrong, they say the best revenge is massive success. They say the best revenge is to live life well. The best revenge is to be happy. The best revenge is to seek no revenge and to make yourself successful, which is what I should do. I should work towards getting independent. I should work towards going to the SOAR program. I should work towards, you know, finding a career for myself. Somebody says, "What will become of Andrew?" Well, I mean, I can succeed, but I have to come back with determination. I have to do it. Don't talk the talk. I know what I need to do. Take action. Walk the walk. You know, do it. Make your life happen. I know what I need to do. Get off social media, go to SOAR programs, get a job, and that's what I need to do. I mean, it's all laid out. I mean, they tell me what I need to do, and that's what I need to do. So he says, "Why is there no pop star, you know, dream woman or secret admirer coming on like some knight in shining armor or some fairy godmother coming to rescue you? You got to save yourself. You got to make your life happen. You got to work towards getting financially independent. You know, no pop superstar is going to come and say, 'I'm madly in love with you. Here's riches and fame.' That's just a delusional daydream." So call the SOAR program. Say, "I'm sorry for no showing, and I'm going to take action here." You know, don't you know that's what I need to do. You know, realistically, what I need to do is get off social media and call the SOAR program, or get a job, or get a or something like that. You know, just that's what I need to do. You could do chores around the house, but realistically, I got to find a way to interact with society. You know, make some money and work towards getting financially independent. Get out of my solitary daydream world. You know. Yeah. So that's what I need to do. I know what I need to do. I say what I need to do. Now do it. Take action. You know, it's obvious. You know, you have to do it. You have to live your own life. You All right, guys. I think I'm. I mean, if there's no more questions for me, I think I'm gonna peace out. Hit the bricks. I hear police sirens down the block. I'm afraid they're coming to take me away to the psychiatric hospital. I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not the case. I don't know what I did. Did I do anything? Did I do something wrong? You know, I always get like PTSD flashbacks when I hear the ambulance sirens or fire sirens or police sirens. Why do I think like tons of people are going to come to the house and say, Andrew, we're taking you to the hospital? That always scares me. I can't wait till the police siren fades into the distance here. It seems like it is. Yeah, there's a busy road right by my house, so I guess that's the reason I hear it so quickly. I know like Erie was like, oh, do you get auditory hallucinations? Like, no, I rarely am hearing police sirens, but it sounds like the police siren has gone away, and it was not for me. So, Jungle Lady, as you call yourself, what is your age, gender, location, and name? I mean, you're a lady. I don't know if you're single and you're looking, but I've been single for years. Maybe I could date the Jungle Lady. I know they say stop trying to find romance on, YouTube, and go to these SOAR programs and get a job and find real love in the real world. But we'll see. Maybe Jungle Lady's going to say I'm, however old she is, and 29, New York, and she's a cis woman. Oh my God. I'm assuming you're not interested in me, though. Oh my God. Oh my God, a 29-year-old woman, cis woman from New York, but I'm assuming she's not interested in me. She's just watching me. So she says, you're living a miserable life, Andrew. You want to be a rock star from social media content. You want to be a rock star online. But realistically, you're just wasting your life and descending into madness. The Jungle Lady says she looks for American suitors. All right. I mean, hit me up on social media if you're really genuinely interested in me. Talk to me. And, exchange, like, I'm going to vet you. I'm going to make sure you're legit. And if you're really interested in me romantically, well, I'm certainly looking for a romantic partner, so. I mean, troll and jokes aside, if there's a lady out there who wants to date me, they say, you're a mess, Andrew. You're a mess. But if there's a lady out there who wants to date me, I'm certainly looking for that, I'm certainly looking for the ladies. All right. So I know Rusty wants me to do an hour, but I think I'm going to, peace out here. Thanks for having watched. Thanks for checking me out. Any last questions? So the question is, will I call the SOAR program today? I'm kind of afraid of the reaction of the lady who runs it. Not to say she's not nice. She seems very nice. But I kind of said I was going to show up and no-showed it like a million times. So I'm afraid she's going to look at me with disgust. I don't know. Maybe she won't. I'm just projecting my insecurities and fears into her mind. Maybe she'll say, "Okay, no, I'm going to trust you this time." I don't know. Who knows? But I'm kind of afraid. She's going to be nasty with me. No, you can't just show up. You have to. Somebody says you have to kind of, prove trustworthy. We got Julie in the house. Julie's a lady. Wow. Somebody says, I'm sure people waffle on her all the time. She's used to people So he says, Andrew will be one of the best leaders. Yes, I'm a real leader. I'm a real leader. Okay, guys. Somebody says, you'll disappoint her. You'll disappoint her. Eat more chips, sit on the couch, and cry about why am I not a rich and famous movie star from social media? You know, they say, do that, Andrew. You know what you need to do to get independent. Now do it. Don't sit on the couch, eating chips, crying, why am I not a celebrity? Instead, take action and get independent. All right. On that note, I think I'm going to finally. I mean, we've said. I think we've said all that needs to be said, and I'm gonna peace out here. I'm gonna peace out. I'm gonna hit the bricks. I'm gonna hit the dusty trail. Julie says you will never succeed, Andrew. I want to prove you wrong, but. Kit says, love is out there, Andrew. Now walk the walk. Don't talk the talk. Walk the walk. And Julie says, if you want to succeed, do it. Make your life happen. Love is out there, but to quote the great Gary Burr, love is out there, but you got to go get it. Now, love, independence, happiness, it's all out there. Now get off social media and make your life happen. Adios, amigos and amigas. Thanks for watching. Now it's time to go back to doing the same routine for the next 5 years. And we're going to wake up at 2020. We're going to wake up at 2030. And I'm going to be making Mr. Peaky at 43 years old. Mr. Peaky. Peace out.